Ah, oh yeah. Just give it a minute, see if anybody joins. Don't really fancy talking to myself, although I talk to myself all day long, to be honest. It's Friday night though, isn't it? 20 past 8. Most people probably got better things to do. Let's just see if that's working. Oh, hey, Sparks UK. Are you alright, Barry? How you doing? I'm sorry I've not been very active on Discord this week. I've just felt so under the weather, and it's like, I'll be honest, my spare time I've been focused on doing this just to take my mind off everything else, I guess, going on in my life. Hope you're alright. I'm trying to work out if we've got anybody joined apart from yourself. Ah, Bass Van Harren, hi. Right, okay, well I'll crack on. We have got one or two people. It's like the time of day though, isn't it? It's like, say, Friday night, everyone's probably going out and having drinks and going for meals and all that sort of stuff, but I just want to try and get this out. And then I'm not doing it tomorrow, really. It gives me some time tomorrow to get on with repairs and stuff. So if I just get the VM back up. Yes, I've done quite a lot of changes over the last few evenings and this afternoon. I mean, like insane changes. Some of them made a real nightmare situation for me. The end of that last stream, I think we had a problem, didn't we, where the end of game screen didn't display properly or something. I think it was like the image was offset. So hang on, cat's trying to get me. Just let me just go and give the cat some more. Won't be a sec. You naughty cat. Yeah, sorry about that. She's, I think I mentioned a stream or two back. She's going a little bit crazy, I think, and yeah. Anyway, right, she's eating now. So the end of the last stream, as I say, the end of screen, one of the Earth image was like offset incorrectly. God, this echo's worse than ever. Right, okay. So let me just start it. I'll talk about some of the code changes and things I've done in a minute. Hopefully the music won't be too loud. Yeah, I managed to adjust that. I'll show you. I just did it on the wave setting there, actually. So this time I've got the background, there's a Lynx one there, and I've not got scan lines on, so you can see the image a lot clearer. Because I noticed watching back that capture, because it's like a 1080p desktop here. It's and obviously the Lynx image is pretty small. It looked pretty blurred out with the compression. Let's just see if we've got anybody in the chat. Spitfire RF, Evening Gadget, hi. What do we repair tonight? It's not a repair, this is just a look at some code that I wrote back in 2013, a game for the Atari Lynx, and I've done some updates to it over the last week. Who uses Windows XP now? Yeah, it's like I say, it's an old development environment. I've got lots of projects on here, so I need XP really. It's got an old version of Visual Studio, some old Delphi things on there, and some of the C compilers and things, and it's all legacy stuff, but yeah, I mean these things, the executables run fine on modern platforms and things, but it's just easy to have them on here and just virtualize it. It's just one of many virtual machines I use. So anyway, just come back here. I'll just start this. So I've done some minor changes to the graphics and things here. Some of the cosmetics, the button images and things here have changed. The colours have changed. We've got the Atari logo there to show we're in the enhanced. If I go to classic, it takes us back to the classic title screen there. And you can see we've got the Commodore logo up there. It's the best I could do with the number of colours. You have got 16 colours, but we've got a limited palette, and the palette is dictated by the image we've got in the background and stuff. But nevertheless, I've also changed that background image to be the same as the other one. If I switch back. But it's a different palette, so it looks clearer on the Lynx. There's more colours there on the Lynx. I think that's it for that. If I hit start, so again, changed small things here, changed the colour of the button stuff, that text at the bottom's red instead of green. It seems prudent to make it red really, because it's a warning message, isn't it? Green was just a bit, hey, there's an alien aboard, it's happy times, green message. There's the slime, you can see, and I don't know if you saw that, it said who had died. If I just reset that, oh, hang on a minute, right, I know what this is. Let's just close this, it gives me an opportunity to show you that. In order to reset the game, one of the things I did, because I mentioned in the previous stream that I used a lot of segments, so you've got like a main segment. Once you're in that main segment, you can have a smaller segment that sits elsewhere, and you can page things in and out of that. You can also page larger blocks in and out of the main segment. When it comes to reset, it's a bit of a convoluted story, but the bottom line is you want to go right back to the beginning, and the easy way to do that is, if I just look at the game map, this is something it produces as an output, the compiler actually, or the linker perhaps. Start up there. So one of the things I worked out when I was trying to find a way around this early on, just to get a really simple way to reset it, rather than have to do lots of stuff myself and and pay attention to where I am in terms of segments and things. The easy thing to do was to get this address here, 5659, and then have a tiny little bit of assembly there to jump to it. So 5659. Yeah, I had to make a note of that. That's what this note. This is the address of start, because I came to resolve that earlier. I've had to change it a few times now, because as I keep moving things around in the memory map, that address changes, and of course once that address changes, then the reset no longer works. So yeah, I mean, I could automate that perhaps. Yeah, so let's try that now. If I start this, I should be able to reset it. Let's try it here actually. It's 1 and Q on the keyboard. Yeah, there you go. Try it again. Yeah, so reset's now working. Whilst we're here actually, I'll show you can flip this as well. There you go. So you can play it left-handed. That's quite cool. Start that. Tell you what, I'm going to put the difficulty on hard. Oh, because one of the things I want to. Oh, I keep pressing the wrong blue button here. Put it on extreme. Yeah, I want the alien to kill me pretty quickly. But what I need to just test now, while I waffle for a little bit, is the death stuff, and the end of game stuff, just to make sure that works. You can actually jump to some of that just by putting some hard-coded stuff in. But anyway, yeah, so you can see that it says who's died. And I think if we try and find the alien, just let it kill one or two players. It should kill them really quickly on this. Not players, characters, you know what I mean. Oh. Let's just check on chat. Retro Game Revival. Hi, Dennis. I've got some of Dennis's code here, actually. I've not used it yet. I'll show you. Where's it gone? Yeah, he gave me some helpful macros. Yeah, these. You recognise those, Dennis? I've put them there in place, and I plan to do some more changes to use those. They're just bit manipulation. Defines. So, you can flip bits off and off, on and off. This echo's terrible. It's way worse than it was the other night. I'll tell you what, I can actually solve that by just turning the volume down on my PC a bit, I think. Yeah, hopefully you can still hear me at the same volume. Retro Magic Daz evening, hello. Retro Game Revival, that's all. Yeah, I mean, I've not used it yet. Like I say, I've just put them in place, but yeah, the plan is to use that. And I'll show you exactly where I could perhaps use that while I'm at it. Yeah, if I look at my structures here, the code layout here is terrible. It really is. That's not the one. It's this one. Yeah, so I've got some basic structs here, which define the objects, if you like, in the loosest sense. It's just like what's the word? A collection of bytes, basically. That's what I've used, unsigned character for everything. Apparently that's quite efficient with the compiler on the Lynx. You're better off sticking with unsigned chars for most stuff. Where I've needed to, I had to go for a long, which is twice. It's like twice the size, is like 2 bytes. But there are things in here that could easily be, that you could reduce. I could reduce this. So, like for example, hypersleep. is just it's a byte, but it's all I'm using it for is a 0 1 byte, a bit. So it makes no sense to waste 7 bits there. And there are probably other things. The floor, for example, well, there's only 3 floors on the ship, so I could use the first 2 bits there of a byte, then stick hypersleep, and there may be 1 or 2 other things, I'm not sure. Yeah, I could certainly merge those in there. Action, again, is pretty much like 2 bits. So I can save 2 bytes there straight away in that. And that might not seem like a lot, but by the time you multiply that character structure by 7, because you've got 7 characters, you've gained 14 bytes or something. And 14 bytes might not seem a lot, but yeah, every single byte makes a big difference on the Lynx. So let's just go back to the code again. In fact, I'll just see if I missed any messages. That's indeed the fastest access to data on the CC65. Thanks for confirming that. Yeah, there's still some stuff, as I mentioned in the last stream, that I'm not clued up on, like this BSS stuff. It seems to be that variables that are not declared or something, initialized, something to do with BSS. I don't know, it's like something I've never really looked at. So I'm not clear on what that segment does, but one thing I did find is if you start playing around with this, using the pragma here to specify where the BSS stuff goes, like you try and stick it in the read-only data segment, even though you think the variables and things in that method there are only used within that code, you'd think that would work, but more often than not it doesn't. As soon as you change, I mean that's a good example where I have done it and it does work actually. Oh no, I haven't. I've set that. That's the default BSS. Let's just scroll back up because I think I changed it before that. Yeah, I did for the sample. So for the sample, the BSS stuff is stuck in the same read-only data block. And I guess that row data, read-only data, is just a label. It's not really read-only. It's actually in RAM. Anyway, I'm rambling a bit. Let's just fly back up to the top. I just want to show you if I can find it. Yeah, so this afternoon in particular I spent a hell of a lot of time doing quite a lot of restructuring of the general layout of stuff. If I have a look at the directory, where's that gone? Up here. So this is the directory of the Lynx cartridge. It's like, think of a directory of on a disk. Yeah, you got all your individual files. So you have this file here, directory.asm. It's a bit of assembly that defines the directory there of the ROM, and you can list all your segments, that contain all your assets, your sounds, your code, etc. But the main thing is I had to do some changes to this because I've done a number of things. I've added the enhanced versions of Jones in. I never had enough space to do that before. So the amazing thing is I was looking through the image folders and stuff. I was optimizing some of the other images, and I came across them, and I was like, oh wow, I didn't even know those existed. And I just vaguely remembered that back in 2013 I couldn't accommodate it. I couldn't fit them in because there was not enough RAM. But because of the huge amount of changes I've been doing, and a lot of optimization, I've been changing stuff to use pointers where I hadn't used pointers. And if you're not familiar, one of the benefits of pointers, for example, if you've got, let's say, some text, you've got some text somewhere, let's say for the item name, and let's say you've got 5 items that use the item name. Yeah, the way I was doing things is to create 5 items, populate using there's a string copy method, copy from a constant that text, that identifies the item into each one of your sort of instantiated, if you think about it, structures. Yeah, so you've got like 5 copies of the same thing. So one of the first things I started doing earlier in the week was just to drop that approach. That was good to get things up and running. And actually, when I started developing this, the guy who I was helped by, Alex Thiessen, he's done a cracking blog actually. He hasn't updated in quite a while, but he's done a blog on how to program for the Atari Lynx using CC65. I'll post a link after this video down below that you can have a look at. And it's, I don't know, something like a 16-part tutorial, and that was where I started and picked all this stuff up back in 2012, 2013. I'm sidetracking now, I forgot what the story was I was trying to say. Oh yeah. So I shared this code with Alex very early on, actually. Well, after I completed it, and he said, "Oh, yeah, it's pragmatic," and I think what he meant was, yeah, it just did the job. There was nothing optimized about it, and I can understand where he came up with the whole pragmatic thing, because as I've re-reviewed this and I've gone over it and over it and over it, and every time I go over it I find more stuff and I think, oh my god, why did I do this? So the pointer stuff is a classic example. If I was going to design something like this right now from the start, I'd go in with the aim of optimizing every single part of it right from the very start. You need to be counting every single byte, you need to be using assembly where you can, and you need to, reduce complexity and simplify, and just really pay close attention to the smallest little things. Let's just see if I missed anything. So yeah, that's indeed the fastest code. I've said that. The trade off with bit flags is that you're looking to code might be bigger. Yeah, that's one interesting thing. Is I started doing the change a load of stuff to pointers, and actually the code's a lot quicker. Yeah, but it's using more bytes, which is not what I expected. I thought that by using the pointers, an example, I've got a block of code that takes a specific character out of the 7 characters. They're all in an index. Yeah, so it's dealing with one of them, and then you've got tons of references to that character in terms of its properties, the properties of the struct there, if you like, the variables and things that character, how you interact with them and stuff like, I don't know, the location and the damage and the health and all that sort of stuff. So all of that stuff now, because it's using pointers, it's so quick, and actually I noticed a difference straight away when I changed a few different routines to use pointers there. But the one thing I did have to do is change all the stuff here. The directory stuff I was just explaining. So yeah, I added some new entries in here, but I've had to do, where's it gone? I had to do some changes to, there's so many files here and the names are quite complex. Here we go, linkscol.cfg. So this is a configuration file that sort of ties in with the linker, and it ties in with the directory file, I think. So this is where you define the exact structure of your memory map. Yeah. So what I added today was this Jones start, because what I decided to do is to free up more memory, is do exactly what I did with the avatars. Take the Jones images, there's 4 of them. Well, now there's 4 for the enhanced graphics as well, and put them into 2 separate segments. I mean, I could have done exactly what I did with the avatars and put every frame into its own segment, but that would have been like an extra 8 segments. But yeah, the net result is I think I explained in the previous video, we've got a code main block, yeah, that various larger chunks of code can go into. Sorry, that's the star, that's not the one, is it? Oh no, it is, that is the one. That just looks really oh, it's not. Yeah, I thought that was small. I thought it's a 310 there. It's not. It's 2 byte. It's 2 bytes. It's a word. It's 310A. So that's where the main code block goes. And then they've got some small code blocks, the number of them, that fit just after that. Then the avatars. Then I've added Jones after there. And doing that has meant that those 4 Jones images are no longer in the main code block. They're in a separate segment now where I can swap them out with the enhanced ones. Anyway, the net result is I had to do some changes here. I had to modify that. That's an interesting thing. It's like a constant that shows how many directory entries there are on the ROM image on the car. That's a bit weird. You think that would be an automated way to set that. I'm not sure. There might be. But anyway, that stumped me for ages working that out. Right, so that's that. Let's just go back to the game. I'll just show you 1 or 2 of these things. Let's just see if I can find Jones. And I want to test, let's say, the defs, the characters on here, just to make sure that's working properly. In particular, in the vent system. I fixed, I would say, in the last hour before just in the stream, I must have fixed about 7 bugs that I didn't know existed. I tested and tested and tested this back in 2013, and I tell you what, I would have sworn it was bug-free as it was, and yeah, that's not the case. I fixed about 7 bugs tonight, and I fixed several bugs yesterday. But I've also done quite a lot of small functionality changes and enhancements as well. Just looking at comments. Hi Stephen, hope you're okay. So yeah, some of the small changes I've done. You can see we've got O2 top right. That image may change. That's just the highlight of my graphical capabilities using the limited number of colours we've got. Yeah, so I changed that to O2. If you're playing the C64 mode, it says TOH, which is time out of hypersleep. Lots of the layout here is just tweaked slightly as well. It says room damage. I've changed room to yellow and put the DMG underneath it because that it's the same colour as the text there. That kind of makes sense. But the whole idea is that is the section in that bottom right there that explains various things in the room, doesn't it? As you move along, let's just move a character to a different floor. Why are they all on this floor? That's what I want to know. Hang on, the alien's attacking someone. That's what I wanted. Right. So what I want to test here, and it's going to kill me pretty quick here because it's on extreme, I think, is move to the grill. This was a bug that I just spotted. If you move to the grill, the alien didn't follow you previously. I think it literally just did not know where you'd gone. There you go, that works. Yeah, ignore that 4, 5, 6, 7. That's just counting the segments so I can see which segment it's in at the moment. But anyway, if I just attack that, she's going to die in a minute. The heart thing there, you can see that. I tried a few different things. I had a pulse going along. The big problem is trying to find somewhere to fit it. I mean, in theory, now I've changed the layout slightly. I could put it where that heart is. There we go. So that's shown Ripley is the one that just bit the dust. The slime worked okay. Yeah, and it cut back there okay without a problem. That was a glitch I was having a few minutes ago where the graphics there were messed up, so that's fixed. So if I go back to another character, the other thing I just need to quickly test is take someone with an item into a vent and drop it in the vent, because there's an awful lot of things like that where, you know, I got 99% of it right the first time, but just one or two things I didn't. So for example, you could die in the vents, and in theory the item you drop should stay there in the vents, and I think that was one bug. There was a bug there that I just never spotted. It's a similar thing with when you catch Jones. You know, you catch Jones, he's in the cat carrier. If you put the cat carrier down, Jones is still in the cat carrier. And likewise, if you die, you drop your items. You need to be able to drop your items. And it's, you know, I've just had to make sure everything's persistent there so that, you know, wherever you... let's just find out where Ripley died, hang on. Yeah, wherever you die, things don't just go missing, if you like. They continue to exist as they should do, so that other crew members can pick them up. So corridor 1, alien was round there somewhere. It's yet another one of these days where I've had no tea yet. Generally, if you leave your crew around one of these two rooms here, it doesn't take long for the alien to find you, because they're like the main two corridors that lead from the different floors of the ship. Amiga Wolf. I have the Atari Lynx 2 with case and 6 games and more, and replace the screen with a new LCD screen. And yeah, the Atari Lynx was the best handheld console you could buy in 89 to 95. Yeah, definitely. I've got so much nostalgia for the Lynx. Almost unbelievable that the first one came out in 1989. I'm honestly jealous of the amount of colours you have available here versus the Nav does. Yep, hang on. Right. Where's the alien gone now? There it is. Right, let's just move her away. I just want to see if I can get an item, go into the grill and let it kill me. Hopefully it'll follow. There's an item. Fire extinguisher. Let's just remove that grill. It hasn't followed, has it? Let's just go there. I can hear Rosa meowing actually. I'm probably going to have to let her out of the kitchen in a minute. There it is, right. I've also done a lot of fixes to the morale as well, the morale system. I mean, like, several. One of them was when you went into the vent system, your morale drops. And when you come back out, it goes up. But it wasn't working that way. It was actually doing the opposite. It's like you went into the vent system and your morale went up. So your character's like, I'm happier now, everything's fine in here, you know, in this dark hole. where I'm probably going to die. It's great down here. So I did a change there, and then I also did a change for every movement within the event system. Your morale goes down and down and down, and that works. But there was also another interesting thing where your morale went. I'm trying to think. Yeah, your morale went to a certain predetermined level when the alien appeared. So if, like Lambert now, she's broken, health is really low there. And incidentally, I mentioned Lambert the other night and I said he. It's a she. Yeah, so correction there. But yeah, you can see her health is really low and morale is the lowest there, broken, as if like, totally distraught. And what was happening before, the alien would come in and her morale would go up. It would go up to the next level. So yeah, that's a change as well. That's a fix. There's loads of small things like that that didn't make sense. Now it kind of does as you play through it. The way the characters react to various things is a lot more realistic, I think. That's one thing I don't know that I'm going to change. I mentioned before that they flee, and that's exactly what's happening now. The character is automatically fleeing for their life. I think the chance of that happening is something like 1 in 150, but it seems to happen quite regularly. There we go. Right, so that should be Lambert. Yeah, there we go. So that's worked. So I just need to go see if her item she dropped is still in the vent. You can see a fire's just started down there. Yeah, I'm not sure if you can hear the sound like I can, but yeah, we've got a tone for the fire alarm now. Oh, hang on, I've not got focus here. Right, let's move into the grill. Yeah, so there's a dead body there from someone who died above. Oh, I can't remember where she was now. He's going to die now, isn't he? Good luck trying to find what item was down there. At least that's working. Yeah, so the fire alarm's still going off. Yeah, and the fire will spread. I'll send him to go see if we can find this item in the vent. The problem was, when that character died, I wasn't paying attention to which room they were in. It was one of these to the right here, I think. Let's go into the grill here. Right, so it's not there. Let's try corridor 6. Yeah, there's a body here. No item though, so let's go to the grill. I wondered if it's dropped it in the room even though the person was in the grill. That might be the case. Oh, he's dead now. This is one of the problems with trying to test it. It's like you can set things up, like, I don't know, put a line of code in to set a person in a certain room and an item in a certain room and this, that and the other. But then you spend all the time changing that, and then you forget the lines of code you put in there for testing purposes. Oh, there's the item. Fire extinguisher. Maybe she wasn't in the grill. She may have fled to the grill. Let's go into the grill. Right. Hopefully I've got enough characters left to go and see what he drops from the grill. Is he in the grill? Yeah, I don't know, this is the thing. I never thought about that. When you're fighting the alien and you're in the vent system, you don't know you're actually in the vent system. I think we'll assume he is. He's about to die anyway. Let's just check chat. This game I do not have. I do have Zalar, Paperboy, Gauntlet, Toki, Slime Wilden, Shadow, the Beast, Switchblade. Very cool. Yeah, this game I have developed myself, so it's not being sold or anything. you'd have to put it on a flash cart or something. Right, he's dead. She's dead. He's dead. He's dead. Right, still got Brett. I'll tell you what, let's just drop that. We need to test the when you drop 2 items of the same type as well. I've not done that. It should change the colour when you try and get it. Yeah, that's it. Or is it? Hang on. Yes, sorry, my eyes were playing tricks on me there. See how the different colours, the text. Laser pistols like a pinky sort of colour, and fire extinguishers white because there are 2 of them. Anyway, let's just go and do what I was trying to do as part of this test, which is just go find that item, see if it went in the vent. Living quarters. Oh, hang on. Oh. Doesn't help when you're trying to navigate the aliens there. What time is it? 10 to 9. I'm going to go shortly, I think. Right, so I'm pretty sure it was this next room. Yeah, there's no items there. So yeah, I think that's worked if they're in the vent. Yeah, there we go. Get yes, fire extinguisher. In fact, let's just drop electric prod. Get fire extinguisher. Come back out the vent. Yeah, so that's good. So we've got persistence there. If your character dies anywhere in the vent system, you drop the items in there, and if another character needs them, they're gonna have to go find them, aren't they? Let's just switch to the fire extinguisher. Oh. Yeah, that was a change I did as well. You choose use, automatically selects the next thing. I'm just forgetting that I've done that change. So generally the interface is a bit easier to use as well. Let's extinguish that fire. That should stop the fire alarm. Yeah, that's gone off. Might change that sound, yeah. Also did a bug fix just before this as well to do with the alien movement. You can hear noises, you know, as the game sort of plays through it. It's quite a noisy game actually, because you've got the heartbeat thing going sort of 100 mile an hour. But if you listen, you also get like shh noises, which are the doors, and then you get like a sort of rattly noise, which is the grills. And what was happening with every single movement of the alien, it was opening the doors, even when it was in the vent system. So I changed that, so when it's in the vent system, it's silent. You don't actually hear it. You can hear the grills when it opens the grill and comes out of the grill, and obviously when it's out of the vent system, you can hear the doors. But it's still noisy. You can hear another fire start. The aliens start another blooming fire now. And of course this is random. You can play a game and you never get a fire, and then you play another game and you get a fire and it spreads and spreads, and like this. Hang on. That's not spread yet though. Let's extinguish that one. Oh look, the alien's really busy with these fire starting on this one. He started one down there now as well, look. I wouldn't mind, but the odds are pretty slim. Now, I haven't seen Jones yet. I briefly just saw something then makes me think Jones is around here, because you should see the enhanced version of Jones as well. Now, I tweaked the image for that because there was just one thing with it that didn't quite look right, and it had like a single pixel for its eye, and as he runs across the screen you could just see this eye bobbing up and down. So I thought, I've got to change that, so I just changed that one pixel to the same colour as sort of the fur that's nearby, and yeah, look, there's Jones. See, he's got like a, oh, he's gone now. Yeah, if he comes onto the screen, you know, if you go into the screen just as he's there, he'll pass all the way across the screen and then probably halfway back across again. But if you go into a screen where he's just about to disappear, you might just see a little bit of him and then he's gone. But yeah, he's got like a tigered appearance. I'm not sure whether I prefer the original C64 versus that actually, but I've put it in because obviously it was nice, and I think Daniel 108 stars did a great job of it. Right, so he's the only character left, isn't he? I think. Let's just I forgot you can actually press left, and it will just rotate through the currently live characters. So there's only him left. So let's just set the self-destruct. So there's been loads of changes, let's say, to small things like the morale system in so many different ways. For example, if you're in a room with two or three other people and the alien kills one of them, the morale of all the people in the room plummets. That's something that just makes sense. And it's the same with the self-destruct. Like he's not a good example because he's at the lowest morale at the moment. But basically, if you set the self-destruct, and this is probably going to be a cheat, if you like, because if I set the self-destruct, right, it can't go any lower. Yeah, it's set him to terrified, doesn't it? He's slightly less. He's got better morale than he had before, so that's a bug still. I need to just change that thing. And if you cancel the self-destruct, the opposite happens. Goes up just a tiny little bit. Because the android can actually trigger the self-destruct. Yet one of the characters is an android, just like the film, but in this you can randomise it. I think it is randomised as default, so you don't know who the android is. And if the android's still alive on the way back, the android will start attacking characters, it'll start fires. If it's near the that control centre there, it can start the auto-destruct. It can also blast the airlock. If you've got characters in the airlock and the android's around, the android can blow you out the airlock. I don't think anyone besides Gadget has this game. Yeah, I mean, it is out there. I did see one video sort of looking at it to try and do a basic review, and the guy was like, I'm not sure what you do with this. Is this an RTS? Not my sort of thing, not my cup of tea. But the game has been reviewed. It was reviewed in the, was it Retro Gamer magazine? I think it was. I've got a copy of it upstairs. It was reviewed back in 2013, I think, or 2014, and it got 8 out of 10, which is not bad, especially considering it hadn't been finished. Now it's a bit better. It's it's obviously slightly more complete and stuff. Yeah, it looked a bit like C64 Aliens. I loved that one as a little kid. Yeah, talking about Batman Returns, I think. So, I'll tell you what, let's just test the... we'll just let him die. Let's just find... I don't know what I'm looking for here. Yeah. Try and find the alien, I guess. It's easy when you've got more players, because when you've got one person... When I say players, I mean characters. Only got one... Oh, there he is. Yeah, let's let him kill it. So we'll check that first, and then I'll just hard code the scenarios for the next things to make sure those all work. And if those work, then I might push this version out, I think. Yeah, he's took some damage there, look. Once it starts to hit you on this difficulty, you don't last long. May as well try and hit the alien on the way out. He's nearly gone. Just hope it doesn't flee, because that's the annoying thing I found when testing. It's like you want someone to die, and then they wander off into another room. And when they do that, actually, when they panic, they drop their items. I got that from XCOM UFO. When one of your soldiers gets, like, I don't know, mind probed or something, or they panic, they drop the stuff, don't they, and then sort of run off. So it's exactly the same thing. Yeah, there we go. So Nostromo reached the Earth, all crew dead, alien destroyed all life on Earth. Lambert was an android. It's an interesting one, that someone asked me about that. How can the alien destroy all life on Earth on its own? But if you read the books, and in fact there was something on the director's cut of Alien, and that was something to do with the type of alien. Do they call it a drone? I think they do. They can produce some, what's it called? They secrete some jelly or something. They can actually create an egg, I think. Because there was some cut parts from Alien where it shows Dallas and a few other people or something like cocooned in a, like with a bit of an egg thing around the bottom of them. So yeah, I think that's the idea. Just testing that reset again. Right, so that all works. Let's just test the other scenarios by just putting a couple of lines of code in. But there's tons more optimization needs doing to this. In fact, before I do that, let's just compare how these segments look now. Let's just copy those. That's these ones, isn't it? Yeah, I just want to just see how that's changed. So the first one is the same. Yeah, that's a lot bigger now. But you see, there's more room. This is the thing. I've been able to make more space. I didn't really explain very well, but coming back to this here, because this is defining how big these chunks of code are, this is why I kept running out of space. Because I had this in place and I was working to these sizes. So I probably had like 2 or 3, 4K still there that I wasn't able to access. So hang on a sec. Yeah, so as a result of revisiting this stuff, and I'll show you one of the ways I worked that out. If I reduce that, let's change that there. There must be an easy way of doing this, but this is one of the ways I've had to try and do this to work out exactly how much space I've got left, because it really isn't that clear. Yeah, so that's failed now. Hang on a minute. Oh, hang on, I've got a bracket missing somewhere. Hey, how have I got? I've got a bracket missing. This is the other thing. It gives you these cryptic things like this. That isn't the actual issue, I'm sure. Let's just rebuild it. I need another count, I think. Hey, that's weird. Let's just put that one back in. Yeah, you can see what I mean. It's like, how does that make any sense at all? That doesn't. Let's just change it to that. That works. Let's just change the 3 to a 2. Oh. How does that work? That's crazy. It's probably not taken into account the fact I've just changed it. Let's do clean, rebuild. Because what should be happening here, it should go, you've got an overflow, and it should tell me by how many bytes. That's what I was expecting. There we go. We've got an overflow now. It wasn't happening a minute ago, was it? Yeah, so all 3 segments there, and those all fit in the same area actually. You know, they've got the same block here. So let's just change that back slightly and do a rebuild again. So that should come, there we go, 241. So we know we're 241 bytes short there, but you could do the opposite. You can go, let's set that to 35. I'll be amazed if it will accommodate that actually. Yeah, it's not too big that. Memory overflow, 887. So let's just, we can calculate that exactly, can't we? Let's just take that, let's go into calculator. Let's put that in. Hang on, let's do it in decimal. What was it? 887 minus 887. Change it back to hex. 3193 is the magic number. So by doing that, what I've done is set that block there exactly the number of bytes that we're utilising. So how many bytes was left over there? I don't know, 200 or 300 probably. So we've got a bit of space, haven't we? But that's it. Yeah, so that's what I had to do there as part of the optimization stuff, revisiting this stuff here a lot. And just finished doing this, the size of these blocks have obviously changed a fair bit. Code 1, code 2, music, sample data. We've still got a bit of space in the sample block there, so I could redo the sample and just make it slightly better quality. Yeah, so that has gone up, hasn't it? I'm expecting all of these to have gone up actually, because after I did a load of gutting and optimization, I then did all these fixes and stuff, and I've added up quite a lot of code, and I did the pointer stuff to make it more efficient, it's faster, but that added loads of extra size there. Yeah, I was doing those ones when I forgot. Hang on, let's just check those, because I lost track of what I was doing there. And I'll just test those final scenarios, and then I'll go and get my tea. Yeah, so that one is quite a bit smaller now. Oh, hang on a minute. How have we got a B and a B there? Yeah, that's why it's smaller. It probably wasn't. Yeah, that's bigger. I think they're all going to be bigger probably, because they went much smaller as they did all the efficiencies and things and tidying up the code and removing ridiculous things. C is a bit smaller. That's a surprise. Yeah, that one's a bit bigger. E. I'm looking at that third column, by the way, 433, that's the same. And the last one is a lot bigger. Oh, I've got to explain something about that as well. See, where's it gone now? I moved some code in that last build that I demonstrated the other day. There it is, game over stream. Game over scream. The echoes are making me slur. That I moved it into a different code block, and as a result, when it came to the game over screen, and I think this was partly related to what I tried to demonstrate on that last stream, the code was in the complete wrong place. It got further complicated by the fact that do you remember I mentioned about the title screen and the music? The music overlaps the main code. So if you look at these first 4 segments here, these are the largest ones. You've got code 1 row data, so that's where the game over screen is, and the music is in the exact same address. So yeah, that really scrambled with my head, because I was trying to find a way to get the game to end and play the music. Yeah, how can you do that when they're both in the same block of code? Unless it's, you pass you use a global variable somewhere that's not in this area of memory, and then in the controlling bit of memory that can control this block here, could page in and page out the various things. But you've still got the same problem, that if you page in the game over screen, it sits at 17FF. How do you get the music? If you then page in the music, you haven't got the screen. Well, I did exactly what I described with the title screen. I had to do that same thing where I page in the code and the game, the game over screen image and stuff, display that, then have a tight loop that doesn't do anything with the screen, just leave the screen as it is, and then page in the music, start the music, play the music. So yeah, but that took me ages to work out. I must have spent, this was last night, I spent 2 or 3 hours last night trying to work out what the hell was going on with that. Because all you get is a program counter error, just like that one we saw before when I tried to do reset, when it wasn't pointing to startup. And that's it. There's no, I think there probably is a debugger version of Handy. I mean, I've got the code here because I've done changes to Handy to fix some bugs. Actually, I added fixes in by Alex Thiessen. He fixed 3 or 4 things, and I added his fixes, and then I fixed a few things myself with the public version of Handy, including the sample stuff, because it doesn't play Gates of Syndicon. There's a sample, isn't there? That wasn't working. The sound stuff was inaccurate there, so I fixed that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked, so let's just do what I was going to do, just to test the game over stuff, and then I'll get off. Might be other things I can mention I've changed yet, I don't know. So, yeah, here it is. This is just like such a mess, this code I've done. This is the bit I changed where I was talking about a minute ago. I had to move a load of stuff out of here because in the code block at 17FF, it was trying to stick stuff in 17FF. That's why that wouldn't work. Yeah, so we got that. Will just force it to end. Let's just do that. See what scenario we get with that. Skip that. Keep grabbing my can. I've got no coat left now. Yeah, so the Astronomer reach Earth, all crew survived, alien destroyed all life on Earth. So that's the same ending we had before, isn't it? So let's just set self-destruct perhaps. Let's try that. It's also stereo, by the way. It won't sound stereo on the stream because Handy doesn't emulate stereo. But on a Lynx 2, yeah, you do get stereo. The different sounds come from different sides, and the music is actually stereo as well. Yeah, so the Astronomer is destroyed, all crew dead, alien is dead. So that's like, yeah, that's just a self-destruct. So let's do, what's the other one? The Narcissus. Oh, I can't remember what it's called now. Launched. Is it launched lifeboat? Let's try that. Do you know how many times I've seen this screen, heard that music, seen that alien, seen that intro? I'm talking like thousands of times. The Astronomer is destroyed. All crew dead. Alien's dead. Oh, hang on a minute. Yeah, characters have got to be on the lifeboat, haven't they? Let's try and force that. Crew. Oh, is it crew? Yeah, crew 0 dot location equals. I can't remember what the constant is. It's not really a constant, it's a define. Room, it's going to be room. Room. Narcissus. Why have we got 3 things appearing there? That's weird. Right, let's try that. Someone should have got off, I think. Should be like 1 crew survived, maybe. Yeah, 1 crew survived, the alien is dead. I'm trying to think, is really, yes, yeah, there is another one. It didn't actually, the self-destruct didn't do it, did it? Self-destruct timer equals 100. Yeah, because we never saw the explosion, so that's a bit weird. Yeah. Why is that not doing that? Let's just have a quick look. Self-destruct. Yeah, that will do the same thing. This is the thing. When you start doing changes to test stuff, before you know it, you start messing things up when you come back to it later. In fact, that reminds me, let's just get rid of that. Oh God, what's it called now? Display text. I've been working on this too long. Yeah, that bit of debug information there. Don't want anymore. I'll get rid of that. See if that works now. See if it blows up. So a quick look at the chat. See if anybody's still here. Did you optimise it out? I haven't quite worked out the O2 thing on the ops switches and things yet. One of the problems is it tries to apply it to everything in the make file. So, yeah, I just need to play with the make file a bit, I think, to work that out. RetroTech Rolf, hi. Hi. It's worth checking out RetroTech's channel. It's worth checking out Retro Game Revival's channel as well, actually. Hang on, I've lost the blooming window now. Yeah, I didn't see that. Did that blow? Oh, hang on, the reset's not right now, is it? This is the thing. As soon as you change the code, you lose the address of the reset stuff. It moves it. I just wanted to see, did that explode? No, it didn't, did it? That's the warning. I tell you what, an easy way of doing that is, it's like I say, some of the code is crazy. It really is. I'm trying to find that code I just added now. Oh, losing the will to live here. Why is it not finding that? Oh, there it is. Yeah, right, let's just get rid of that. Oh, I see what's going on. Yeah, it's that. Mind you, that's the same thing. Anyway, what I can do is go rooms 0.damage equals, I think it's 100, isn't it? Yeah, that should do it. Need to put a skip button. Ah, there we go. That's what I was waiting for. Yeah, so that's just a palette cycle thing that was taken from the C64 version. In theory, we could enhance that as well now, I guess. There's still room to do a lot more to this. Right, let's just test the morale of starting the self-destruct, because I couldn't do that before, because that guy was already like... oh, hang on. See what I mean about when you add code in? Let's get rid of that. Startup, let's fix that. Five 6E2. Oh. Put it on short, it should show multiple deaths at the start. Don't think I've tried that. Yeah, that's right. You get 3 additional deaths, and then the timer goes down at I don't know, 3 times as fast when you have short games. So yeah, it just gives you a way of being able to play this, a quick blast with just a few characters. All right, that's convenient. Is that the self-destruct? So like it's stable, which is kind of like an average, halfway of his morale. I think if I set the self-destruct, it should increase or decrease rather. Yeah, there we go. And obviously his heart rate's beating faster as well. Let's cancel self-destruct and it should just go back a little bit the other way. Yeah, that's right. So he's still more stressed than he was when he started, which he's bound to be. Fire again. Oh, there's the tracker. That's handy. The fire extinguisher. I realised on the last stream actually this camera wobbles when I move the mouse or the desk. Anyway, I'm going to get off I think. Any questions or anything? Anybody who's still here? I'll be amazed if anyone's still watching, to be honest. So would you be willing to send a copy of EOB complete to link of download please? Yeah, it's already been shared. I've shared it so many times. What's that? Are you aware that parameters you pass in functions are super slow? Yes. One thing I did start to do on 1 or 2 places is instead of passing a parameter, I passed still passed a parameter, but I passed a pointer. Because there was one place I think was actually passing a structure, which is crazy. And I was like, no wonder that a bit slow. Yeah, so super slow in C65 used to make global temp. Yeah, and I've started using global variables for lots of stuff. I ended up where I've got a loop because go around a loop, looping around certain structures quite a lot, like the crew, for example. So one of the things I did there is because that whole loop thing is done so many different places. I'm like, well, it's going on. It's every time I add a new loop, it's like a byte, but it's more than a byte. It seems to take, I don't know, 8 bytes or something just by having a variable declared somewhere. So what I ended up doing is just having a single, a global variable for those loops. And then I just have to make sure when I'm not doing anything recursive, if I've got a loop that's doing another loop that does use that, they use the same global variable, then obviously you get a messed up, results. There were more things I want to talk about. Really, I've done so much on the optimization. It's ridiculous. I went through all the sprites and shrunk and small things like removed a single strip of pixels off the top or bottom of quite a lot of the images. Did we see the new Jones? I'm not sure. Did I see that? The tigered one. I can't remember whether we saw him or not. I think he just popped on, didn't he? But then he disappeared. So well, let me just put those fires out. Wait for Jones to pop up again. Wait, it should say at the bottom. Someone's, sees Jones. That makes it easy to see where he is. Just see if I can find a fire extinguisher. You can see what I mean about the fires, though. They do spread, and they will spread through the different. That was Jones. Ripley sees Jones. Yeah, there he is. So yeah, you can see he's, like I say, tigered. That's quite cool. 108 stars, did a great job. Oh, I'll tell you what, let's just hypersleep. I've not tested that. We'll do that. Oh, he's got a tracker. Ah, that's a good test. Enter hypersleep. What he should do is drop the tracker. Right, so he's in hypersleep. Let's get my character. There's no fire extinguishers around here, are there? Because of course it's random. Each time you play the game, everything's random. The items are randomised in terms of the location. No fire extinguishers there. No fire extinguishers anywhere. Let's try that bottom engine room. Ripley sees Jones. No items in there. Let's try that bottom one. Yeah, so I talked very early on here about some of the changes, like the interface. The items have moved. They're down here. I think they were up here underneath the where it says Brett Uneasy before. And I figure that there's no problem with them being there, because when you pop the menu up, you're not interested in what's there anyway. And it just freed up a bit of space for the heartbeat thing. And it meant this top room here is more visible. So I don't know, it's a simple thing, but it kind of made sense. I don't know what I'm doing here. Let's try that next room down there, see if there's a fire extinguisher in there. Oh, well. It's certainly a lot more responsive than it was before to these changes as well. It's snappier. Oh, there's the cat box. So let's drop in there. Get the cat box. Yeah, if you don't deal with the fire, by the way, the ship will blow up eventually. You can see like that room we're in now, it says 58 now, % damage. I don't think, oh, there is someone else left. Oh, look, the fire. Ah, there we go. Ripley's got an extinguisher. Let's use that. There's Jones again. Extinguish the fire. Down to the other floor. What I was going to do is just put these two characters into hypersleep. Just to see if that works. Because I think that's probably the only end scenario I've not tested. So well, let's just put the fire out. Extinguish fire. I mean, if you put your characters all into hypersleep, it's not a good ending, because obviously the alien is unchallenged and just wanders around the ship. I put that fire out, I'm sure it spread from the other room while I was in that one. It's a noisy game, isn't it? I think maybe I should put something in the option. Oh, open the grill then. To disable the sound, some of the sounds maybe. There we go. Finally. I got another fire. Where's the other fire? Yeah, there is another fire somewhere. It's not that floor. Oh yeah, it's the deck we can't see. It's tell you what, let me stick him into hypersleep there. So you can go and put the fire out. But when he goes into here, he should drop his items, I think. That's the end of the test. Into hypersleep. Right, so we've just got Ripley left now. put the fire out first. I think I'm going to change the odds on that fire thing because it's cheesing me off. It's just like every game at the moment it seems like there's a fire every time. Look at that! It's crazy. Oh, wrong way. Just getting ready with the option. There we are. Oh. And if the airlock wasn't damaged now, I could blow the alien out of the airlock, but... Oh, ignoring the alien. I swear, if this alien starts the fire... That's an interesting bug. I'm sure I chose move then, and then it said... It was like it started the next menu on the next screen as an item. So there might be a bug there. That happened twice, I notice. Right, I'm getting off in a sec. Let's just check these items on the floor here. Just check the chat before I go. How is random influence to you mean super unlucky? Yeah, I think that's what it is. It's like it's the way that the random stuff is seeded on it, you know, and how it ultimately works it out. So there should be some items on the floor here. Cat box for one. Yeah, there we go. And 2 trackers because 2 people went into hypersleep who had a tracker. I could drop mine actually. Just see if they're all, yeah, they're all listed. Pick one of those up. Yeah, and if we get into hypersleep, that should end it. It should be a bad ending because the alien's still alive. Yeah, 3 crews survived. Those are the 3 I put into hypersleep. Alien destroyed all life on Earth. Kane was an android. Let's just check the reset still working again. Yeah. Excellent. Okay, thanks for watching everybody, anybody who joined. Sorry if I missed your message and stuff, I've been so focused on waffling and doing what I'm doing really. I would buy this game undone. Yeah, not selling it, you can buy it. Yeah, you can download it for free, not buy it. Yeah, 1.02 is already there to download, but this is 1.3 and this should be out at weekend probably. I'll probably post the link on Atari Age. Buy Stu Rowe, buy Spider McGavenport, Retro Game Revival, AJD, 1 Inch Biceps, Flash Gordon, Sinley Deluxe, and anybody else I've missed there, Retro Tech Ralph. Okay, night guys.